I'm Christian, and welcome to my channel.
The money needed to breathe. Shackled giants won't let me leave. Broke this soul in a world so cold. He gave dying soul for a pot of gold. Moonlight marks through window cracks. Empty soul whispers things I lack. Atlanta boots one down to the neck. Feels like I'm in a broke down here. I mean the money needed to breathe. Shackled chains won't let me leave. Broke this soul in a world so cold. Gave dying soul.
Welcome to Christian's Gaming and Reactions if you're new, and welcome back to Christian's Gaming and Reactions if you've been watching. And in today's video, we are reacting to part 2. This is going to be part 2 of 11 beloved Brady Bunch actors that tragically passed away. And if you want to support me as a content creator, make sure to like with post notifications to get notified when I post more daily videos and like the video. So let's get into it.
At the time of his death, his net worth was estimated at $5 million, a modest number for a man whose real legacy is measured not in dollars, but in the joy he brought to living rooms across America.
This way, left off at
Marshall and J.P. Randolph. E.G. Marshall, born Everett Eugene Grunz on June 18, 1914, in Owatonna, Minnesota, was 55 years old when he appeared on the Brady Bunch in 1970.
We should be able to finish this video in 2 parts. This should be the last part,
guest character that mirrored the dignified gravitas Marshall brought to nearly every role he played. But behind the poise was a man who had lived through deep emotional trials. His first marriage to Helen Wolf lasted over 20 years, but ended painfully in divorce in 1953. They had 2 daughters together, though the marriage's final years were strained and distant. He later married Judith Coy and had 3 more children. Reflecting on family life in a rare interview, he said, "My career gave me a voice, but family taught me when to stay silent." Though Marshall never publicly spoke about financial struggles, close friends said he always worried that stage acting wouldn't be enough to support his 5 children. He eventually shifted toward more commercial TV and film work. In 1974, he hosted CBS Radio Mystery Theater to bring in steadier income and even played the president in Superman 2, 1980, to recover from a failed stage production investment. Despite battling lung cancer in his later years, Marshall stayed committed to social causes, spending his final years in Bedford, New York, writing and advocating for public health care programs. He died peacefully at home on August 24th, 1998, at 84 years old.
At least he passed away.
At the time of his passing, his net worth was estimated at $2 million, a modest sum that belied a deeply principled and enduring career. See Lindsay Workman as Dr. Howard Leeds. C. Lindsay Workman was born on March 6, 1924, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He was 45 years old when he appeared as Dr. Howard Leeds in The Brady Bunch, 1970. A small role marked by calm authority and steady presence, helping to flesh out the adult world surrounding the Brady family. His simplicity and precision in every scene made him a familiar and trusted face to audiences, even without the glow of fame. Away from the camera, Workman lived a life that mirrored the values he often portrayed. He studied at Pomona College before attending Yale University, where he balanced his love for literature with a growing passion for the dramatic arts. Yet instead of seeking fame on Broadway or chasing leading roles in Hollywood, he made a deliberate choice to become a character actor, a working actor, one who would build a career not on star power, but on reliability, range, and integrity.
Yeah, watching the Brady Bunch
over the span of 4 decades, Workman quietly amassed a body of work that included more than 100 appearances in film and television.
If you didn't watch part 1, click off of this video, go watch part 1, then come back to watch part 2 so you get the full experience.
Graced screens in shows like Here Come the Brides, Julia, Adam 12, The Young and the Restless, and Gunsmoke. Though he often played supporting roles, his face became a familiar and welcome sight for generations of TV viewers who might not have known his name, but knew his presence brought authenticity. Off-screen, Lindsay was a devoted family man. He married, raised 2 children, and lived a life rooted in service. He gave his time to causes he believed in, including the Pacific Pioneer Broadcasters and the Boy Scouts of America in Los Angeles, where he volunteered regularly. He wasn't just an actor. He was a neighbor, a father, a citizen, and a steady hand in a world that often moves too fast. C. Lindsay Workman passed away on April 24, 2012, in Claremont, California, at the age of 88, following a brief illness. At the time of his passing, his net worth was estimated at just $100,000, a humble sum by Hollywood standards. But the real wealth of his life lay elsewhere, in the quiet dignity with which he lived, the roles that added texture to American television, and the countless moments in which his performances made audiences feel something real. Barry Williams as Greg Brady. Barry Williams, born Barry William Blenkhorn on September 30th, 1954, in Santa Monica, California, was 15 years old when he took on the role of Greg Brady in The Brady Bunch, 1969 to 1974. The handsome, ambitious eldest son who quickly became a teen idol of the 1970s. Greg Brady became his lifelong shadow, a character too iconic to escape. Behind that smile and idealized persona was a young man in constant conflict. When the show ended, Barry faced the classic child star curse, forever tied to one role. He fought to move beyond it through stage roles in Grease, West Side Story, and even Broadway's Romance. But the public only wanted to talk about Greg. His personal life was turbulent. One of the most persistent scandals was the rumor of a romance with Florence Henderson, who played his stepmother on the show, 20 years his senior. Though Henderson denied anything beyond a harmless dinner, the story haunted Barry for years. He also clashed with the Actors Equity Association and was fined $52,000 for touring in a non-union show, a case he fought, and eventually won, in 2005. He married twice. With his second wife, Ayla Mary Matt, he had a son, Brandon Eric, born in 2003. With former girlfriend Elizabeth Kennedy, he had a daughter, Samantha Rose, born in 2012. Both relationships ended in separation, leaving behind emotional wounds he later spoke about on Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew. By 2025, Barry is 70 years old, living in Branson, Missouri, and still performing with his band, Barry Williams
this in part
and the
1.
Travelers. His estimated net worth is $6 million,
I'll put
a
the F1
reflection
feature
of both
in this video.
perseverance and an unshakable link to television history. Maureen McCormick as Marcia Brady. Maureen Denise McCormick was born on August 5th, 1956, in Los Angeles, California. She was just 12 years old when she became a national star as Marcia Brady in The Brady Bunch, 1969 to 1974. The golden-haired, picture-perfect eldest daughter whose smile defined the girl-next-door ideal of the 1970s. But her life after the cameras stopped rolling was anything but perfect. After the show ended, Maureen struggled with addiction, starting with and spiraling into the pressure of fame and emotional emptiness sent her down a dangerous path. She once auditioned for Raiders of the Lost Ark after staying awake for 3 days on drugs, blowing what could have been the biggest opportunity of her life. She admitted to trading and was blacklisted by producers who labeled her unreliable. What saved her was love. In 1985, she married Michael Cummings, who stood by her through rehab, therapy, and even a suicide attempt. Their daughter, Natalie Michelle, born in 1989, became her reason to live, and the reason she turned down reprising Marcia in The Bradys. She chose motherhood over stardom. She slowly rebuilt her life through appearances on Celebrity Fit Club, Gone Country, Dancing with the Stars, and more. Her 2008 memoir, Here's the Story, pulled back the curtain on a life many thought was perfect. At 68 years old, Maureen continues working in TV, hosting shows like Frozen in Time, and serves as a global ambassador for Special Olympics. With income from books, music, and decades of television, her net worth is estimated at $4 million. But her greatest legacy is survival. Plum as Jan Brady. Eveline Plum was born on April 29, 1958, in Burbank, California. She was 11 years old when she became famous as Jan Brady in the Brady Bunch, 1969 to 1974. The middle child with a sensitive soul and lingering insecurities. Her iconic line, "Marcia, Marcia, Marcia," became a cultural touchstone and a burden that followed her long after the show ended. Eve tried to move beyond Jan with riskier roles, like playing a teen Dawn, Portrait of a Teenage Runaway, 1976. She also appeared in Fantasy Island, Wonder Woman, Murder, She Wrote, and The Love Boat. But the public and press kept seeing her as January. She even turned down the Brady Bunch hour to avoid being boxed in forever. Privately, Eve married Rick Mansfield in 1979, the first Brady star to wed, but they divorced within 2 years. In 1995, she quietly remarried Ken Pace, a business consultant. They have no children and live a private, low-key life. Outside acting, Eve reinvented herself as a visual artist. Her paintings have been shown in galleries nationwide. She once served on the design review board in Laguna Beach and later moved between New York and Los Angeles. In a notable real estate move, she sold the Malibu home she bought at age 11 for $3.9 million, originally purchased for just $55,000. Now 66 years old, Eve continues to create art and occasionally reunites with her former
It's that she continues doing art, but it's titled 11 Beloved, the Brady Bunch actors who tragically passed away. Why is she on this list if she's still alive?
Co-stars. With income from decades of acting, painting, and smart investments, her estimated net worth is $5 million. But her real triumph is how she quietly reclaimed her identity from a role that nearly defined her forever. Christopher Knight as Peter Brady. Christopher Knight, born on November 7, 1957 in New York, rose to fame at 11 years old as Peter Brady, the mischievous yet lovable middle son in The Brady Bunch, 1969 to 1974. While his co-stars like Barry Williams and Maureen McCormick often took center stage, young Christopher, with his cheeky smile and twinkling eyes, quickly captured the hearts of American TV audiences in the late 1960s. Unlike some of his co-stars who found themselves trapped under the weight of their childhood roles, Knight chose a different path. After the Brady Bunch and its spin-offs, he quietly left the spotlight and stepped into the world of technology, a bold move for the 1980s. Calling himself a tech nerd, Knight achieved real success in the computer hardware and software industry. He founded several companies, including Visual Software and Escape Labs, the latter of which was acquired by Hauppauge in 2000. These accomplishments made him one of the rare former child stars to reinvent himself in an entirely different profession. Still, Knight never fully left television behind. In the early 2000s, he made a surprising comeback through reality TV with The Surreal Life, where he stunned viewers by beginning a relationship with Adrienne Curry, winner of America's Next Top Model and nearly 25 years his junior. Their whirlwind romance, documented in My Fair Brady, led to a Gothic-style wedding in 2006. But 5 years later, the marriage ended. Adrienne publicly admitted she wasn't happy, hinting at irreconcilable differences behind the scenes. Though once celebrated as a bold and unconventional TV couple, their love story quietly dissolved off-camera. Knight married for the 4th time in 2016 to Kara Kokonis, a woman outside the entertainment industry. Since then, he's lived a more private life, though he occasionally appears in nostalgic specials like A Very Brady Renovation and The Masked Singer. While former castmates like Robert Reed and Florence Henderson have since passed, Knight, 66 years old in 2025, remains active and
Then
connected
why
to
is
the
he on
Brady
this
Bunch
list?
legacy. His estimated net worth is around $10 million, a testament to a journey that may have started as the Brady Boy, but became a story of quiet resilience and reinvention. The journey of the Brady Bunch is more than just sweet memories. It's also filled with haunting mysteries and behind-the-scenes tragedies that few ever saw. Which cast member left?
That was 11 beloved Brady Bunch actors that tragically passed away. Was part 2. And we finished the video. See you in the next video. Peace.